Hello, my name is Ilona. I'd like to make an English video as well. I want to look at Gesara. I've seen some, messages that apparently in Portugal and other countries, in total 4 countries, Gesara has been, implemented. So the quantum financial system apparently in that country and in other countries has been rolled out. So I really wanted to look at that, if that is true. If Gesara, just depends on your definition, but I'm just talking about Gesara. It's the quantum financial system. It's a completely new system where they block out the old dark system based on debt and based on pretty much that the elite got all the money and the little people had nothing. That's pretty much the system. We will get a new financial system backed by gold, backed by silver. And a lot of things, a lot of laws will change, like the taxes and things like that. You will have full control over your money. I think the entire banking system will be gone, or all the banks will be out of the way. So I'm just going to look at that, if that is true. Is Portugal, do they have Gesara now? And just see if there are more countries with. So let's see what the cards will have to say about that. Well, I have to say, this is the middle card, and that's not a good card. This is the card of the dark, the black hats, so to speak. So they are moving away from it. This is the card underneath there, but the middle card, so that's like the center of the reading. I have a feeling that they put that out, but they're still, it's not completely implemented. I have a feeling they're moving away from the darker system, but it's almost like, I have a feeling that the story that's, they announce is not completely true. And I have a feeling it comes from the dark side. They purposely put that out there to make people happy with something that isn't there yet. Although my feeling is that it's kind of running along with the old system. But my understanding of it is that if they want to implement the quantum financial system, it's already running, I think from March 17. So it's running already, but it's alongside the old system. But the old system has to go before the new system will come in. So my feeling is that this is not completely true yet. Like I said, this is the card underneath it. So they are moving away from that old dark system, but I have a feeling that it's not completely completed yet. There are still, these are apparently I pick 2 cards for the future. It will be a bright future. There will be a good future. So Gesara will be implemented. The quantum financial system it's coming, but it's not there yet. It's not completely fully functional. The old system has to go first. That's my feeling. There has to be, like you see, this is like the last judgment. This is like Judgment Day. So we still have to go through that. You see people are, raising from their graves. And that's in a way how we have to look at the financial system. The old system has to completely be gone before the new one can really come out. So to answer the question, if it's true, that's not my feeling with it. I'm sensing there's a bit of untruth in there, and maybe even the black hats trying to play with us, trying to play with our minds in that way. So they're trying to make us happy with something that hasn't been done yet, in the hope of, taking away our hopes. They do that a lot. They want to bring up someone hope, and then they want to crush it, because that's of course a very low vibration. So you will be in a worse situation if you're desperate, and that's where they want us. They want us desperate. They want us away from hope, because hope gives strength. By having hope and hoping for something, that actually raises in a way your vibration, because you're like, it's going to happen, going to be fine. Hope opens your heart, but despair closes it. And that's really what they want. But it is coming. It's not, I don't think it's going to take very long, but we have to go through that judgment day. And then we all will be very rich and very happy, because that's what the system is about. The system is about giving to us, to everyone. There is more than enough. There is so much money. There's so much wealth. There's so much abundance. There is so much going around. Everyone, no one needs to, be poor. Everyone on earth can be living in abundance. So just it's really, if you think about it, it's just sick. The entire system is sick. So that's my answer to the question if it's true or not. I'm not getting that yet, but I'm feeling we're very close. Of course, there was also a question about the emergency broadcast system, also the false flag that is coming. When is it going to happen? What is going to happen? And so far, it's very difficult for me to sense, because I am sensing something's coming. It's almost like it's unstoppable. Like something's going to happen. I don't know exactly when, but I know we're very close. It's like with the audits in Arizona, everything that's going on, you just see everything in the world changing. It's just energy picking up. Like, we're not going to stay in this for very long. Things are going to happen. So I'm just going to see what the cards will tell me. What's going to be the next? Well, this is actually on top of the card, and that's pretty much how most of us feel, at least how I feel. Is like, okay, is this going to happen or what? It's a feeling of being, well, is it going to happen? What's going to happen? I feel that tension, a bit anxious in a way, and sometimes I can feel very like, oh, it's going to be just fine. I'm going to be just fine. Everyone's going to be just fine. And then some moments I'm like, oh, something's going to happen. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? There are a lot of, energy are racing through me. And this is pretty much a card of being a bit also apathetic. Like, well, nothing's going to happen. We're just waiting for so long. Nothing's happening. That's a bit this card. But in a way, a lot of things obviously are happening. And so this is the middle card. This is the King of Cups. And it also is about emotional maturity. I know that sounds like really strange, but in this reading, it's very important to learn how to control our own emotions and to really trust the process and trust where we are in. Because we really need to just watch and see. This is the card that's underneath it. Watch and see. It's going to happen. It's going to happen pretty quickly, actually, because we have the Chariot again, which is the number 7. And like I said before, that could be July. July is the 7th month. Could be 7 days. Could be, well, not 7 months. I doubt that. But this will be that things are going to happen. This is a card of moving. This is a card of taking control. And I have a feeling that the military will step in and then everything will happen. It's very connected with the election fraud that's happening. I hope I can say that word, but everything that's happening in America, the election that's now coming out, it will be a sign. There was something else will happen as well, and I'm kind of curious about that because there's a lot of cyber attacks going on. There's going to be, the World Economic Forum has a Cyber Polygon 2021. That will be on the 9th of July. Which happens to be my birthday, but they are going to simulate an enormous cyber attack. And it's a bit strange because in October 2019, they had a similar simulation for, well, what's going on in the world now for over more than a year. They were just wondering what would happen if something would have been released. Now everyone would respond to it. And then 3 months later, the entire script of that day was kind of just followed. So they're programming, obviously. So the cyber attacks that's going on, even in the Netherlands as well. Yesterday there was a cyber attack on, Thursday. Thursday there was a cyber attack on around, well, more like how do you say that? Everything was down around The Hague and around our parliament. So that was a bit suspicious. So there are a lot of things going on here, also with the cyber attacks. And I believe in other parts of the world, things are happening. But it's interesting that they have that simulation where people from all countries can log in and see what would happen. They've got that script. Everything like banks, money will be shut down, planes, food delivery, things like that. Attacks on hospitals. What will you do if you're in your country? What would you do? How can you go through that? So it's interesting that they've put that out there. So most likely something like that is going to happen. But there's going to be something big. And they need it as a distraction for what's going on in America with the election. So they need a distraction. So unfortunately, that would be Black Hat. What am I getting out of this? Let me see. I've got a Knight of Wands, which is very White Hat to me. So they are using it. They will use, the White Hats are going to use that false flag to probably start the emergency broadcast system and to take over. So the military will take over. I'm not getting really where they'll hit. My feeling is probably a combination of not really nuclear, but things are going to heat up on a few grounds, and that probably has to do with shutting down everything as well. And then, of course, everything, emergency broadcasting will start up, arrest will take place, a new quantum financial system. So it's a bit of a combination. Probably also the start would probably be in the financial sector. That's what I'm getting now. So this is the pentacles. Pentacles are for earth, matter, money, things like that. So my feeling is it probably will start first with a crash. The old system will fall and then everything will sort of start. That's what I'm getting. And cyber attacks, of course, will have an effect on the financial market as well. We've known, of course, that ship that got stuck, that really put a dent into a lot of things. So that's what my feeling is, that it will start in the financial sector and it will spread from there. But when? I still get a feeling it's going to be July or close to. So just be prepared. Just be prepared. Just make sure you have water, candles. If you need any kind of medication, make sure you have it. And food, of course. Just make sure you're prepared. I also had a question which I answered in a video, but I did that in Dutch. So I also wanted to mention Ron DeSantis. Someone asked me if he was White Hats or not. I got very clearly from the cards that he is, and they asked about a bill, Senate Bill 2006, which will start the 1st of July. And it had it's about, of course, the ban of the passports and a ban on that people will have to be forced to take those. I call them wasp stings. Wasp stings. Of course, they're not the real wasp stings. They're just a metaphor for it. And he made sure that the community can't just shut down or put down restrictions on people and mask mandates. They can't just do that, or fines. Let me see, the state nor local government can't just close businesses or school for anything. So he actually made sure that a lot of things that were happening in other states, I think Florida was one of the states with the least restrictions in total, and they fared pretty well, I have to say, compared to other states. But he really put out there their bans, and people, they have the right to choose. But there is a part in that Senate bill, I believe, in that Senate bill that says that the state health officer can require an individual to get a wasp sting, and he can force that person if they refuse to take it, if they refuse to isolate or Well, so people were like wondering, well, what is that about? Is he really truly a white hat, or is he a dark hat in disguise and just trying to push that through? Now, I read somewhere that that part about the state health officer was already in there. So it was already part of the law. It was already existing in the 2020 version. So actually, Ron DeSantis revised the law in a way, or put more legislation in there, and kind of takes away from that power. So it's going to be a bit strange if a state health officer is now going to force someone to get a wasp stings when there's part in there that people cannot be forced to take the wasp stings. So in a way, he took care of that. So that's probably good to know. I didn't know that, but apparently as a governor, he doesn't have the ability to just take things out of already existing statutes. I'm not sure precisely how that works. I'm obviously not American, and I do not know the American law system very well, or the the politics of things. But I do know that it was already there. So if he didn't change anything about this Senate bill or refused to sign it, it would already be there. So that state health officer already had that. How do you say that? He or she already had that power. So he kind of undermined that power. So he's part of the white hat. So that's what I'm getting out of it. So should add that as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully to next video. Bye.